Have you ever stopped to think about where your data actually goes? I mean, really thought about it? Well, it turns out your digital self isn't just in one place. It's actually living three distinct parallel lives, and today we're going to break them all down. Okay, let's just dive right in. Take a second. Seriously, think about it. How much of you is actually floating around online? Your photos, your emails, your location history, yeah, even your late night food searches. It's probably way, way more than you realize. There's a name for all of this, you know? It's called your digital footprint. Basically, it's the entire trail of data you leave behind just by using the internet. Every click, every post, every single purchase. It all adds up to create this digital version of you. All right, so let's get into the first and honestly the most common life of your data. We're going to call this the entrusted you. And it's all about this deal we make every single day, most of the time without even thinking twice. And this really gets to the heart of the modern internet, right? It's a trade-off. We willingly hand over our personal data, and what do we get back? These incredibly powerful tools that make our lives easier, more connected, just more efficient. And this is a perfect example of that bargain. I mean, just look at a service like Google One. On the left, you've got your basic storage plans. You pay a few bucks, you get some space for your photos and your files. Simple enough. But then, look to the right. The more you're willing to pay, the more storage you get, sure, but also the more powerful their AI becomes inside all your apps. It's a straight-up trade. More of your data and money equals more power and features. And look, the benefits here are pretty amazing. You can't deny it. We're talking automatic backups so you never lose those precious photos, sharing storage with your family, even having AI help you write emails or schedule your appointments. We make this trade because, let's be honest, we get a ton of value back. But what happens when that trust gets shattered? And this brings us to the second and much, much scarier life of your data, the exposed you. Yeah, because all this convenience, all this data that we've entrusted to these companies, it comes with a huge lurking risk. And then, bam, one day you could see this exact message. Oh no, pwned. It's like a punch to the gut. It means that risk we were just talking about, it's not a what if anymore. It just happened. So what in the world does pwned even mean? Well, it comes from gaming culture. It's like a misspelling of owned, and it means you've been totally and completely beaten. This is the alert you get from a website called Have I Been Pwned, which is the super important service that keeps track of data breaches and lets you know if your accounts got caught in the crossfire. And the scale of this problem is just mind-blowing. Look at this number. That's over 17 billion pwned accounts. I mean, think about that. Not million, billion with a B. This isn't some rare thing happening to a few unlucky people. It is a global epidemic of our data being exposed. So this is a data breach. It's when that exact same entrusted data, the stuff you provided for all that convenience, gets stolen. And just like that, your personal information is out in the wild. It goes from being entrusted data to exposed data in the hands of who knows who. Okay, so we've talked about the data we give away and the data that gets stolen, but there's a third life. And honestly, this one might be the most surprising of all. Let's talk about the public you. This leads to a really wild thought. What if some of your most personal data was never actually private in the first place? Yeah. We're not talking about hacks or breaches here. We're talking about information that is, by law, part of the public record, available for pretty much anyone to find. And you won't believe how easy it is to access. You go to one of these free people finder sites, you just type in a name. Maybe you add a city and state to narrow it down a bit. You hit search, and boom! Their systems instantly scan these massive public record databases and spit out a detailed profile. And just look at what can be in this public you profile. Your current and past addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, the full names of your relatives, your social media accounts, details on property you own, even criminal and court records. And remember the key thing here, none of this was stolen. It was just sitting there, out in the open, waiting for someone to look. Okay, wow. So we've got these three totally different lives of our data happening all at once. Let's try to pull this all together and figure out what it means to navigate this digital world. First up, you've got the entrusted you, right? This is the data you consciously trade for services, for convenience, for all those cool features we use every day. Then you have the exposed you. This is what happens when that trust is broken, when your data gets stolen and can, frankly, be used against you. And finally, there's the public you. This is the version of you that's been pieced together from information that was never private to begin with, all compiled from public records for anyone to see.
So, why is this so important to understand? Because these three lives, they don't exist in separate boxes. They overlap. They interact with each other. Your public data can make your exposed data even more dangerous. The entrusted data you share can sometimes become public, depending on the terms of service you clicked agree on. Getting how these versions of you are connected, well, that's the absolute first step to becoming a truly informed digital citizen.
Which, of course, brings us to the big final question. In a world that is increasingly powered by AI, an AI that is trained on all three of these versions of your data, who really owns your story?